They left the country unsafely and even illegally as refugees. Today they returned to Sri Lanka International Airport in Katunayaka. They are received on arrival by officials of UNHCR and IOM. It was a risky journey that took these residents of Vaunia and Kilinochchi to India at the height of the war. Their return to Sri Lanka has been safer and they are pleased to be back home.
இந்தியாவில் எங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாக இருக்கிறது வர்றது கூட ஆட்கள் கூட தங்கி போட்டுகள் எல்லாம் செத்துருக்காங்க இன்றைக்கி அது அந்த விட இப்போ யூஎன்ஹெச்ஆர் மூலியமாக மூலம் வந்தேன்னா எங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்குது எல்லா வேலையும் அவங்களே செஞ்சு தராங்க அதோட எங்களுக்கு தொழில் தரம் எங்களுடைய வீடு வாசல் இருந்ததுக்கு எங்களுக்கு பிள்ளை குட்டிகள் படிப்புகளுக்கு இதெல்லாம் அவங்க உறுதியளிச்சிருக்காங்க எங்களுக்கு செஞ்சு தரதுக்கு அது செஞ்சு தந்தால் இன்னும் ஆட்கள் உடனடியாக வர்றதுக்கு எவ்வளோ பேர் காத்திருக்காங்க அவங்களுக்கு வர்றது வாய்ப்பு இல்லாமல் இன்னும் இந்தியாவில் அவதிப்பட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க
சமாதானம் இப்போ நல்ல மாதிரி நடந்து கொண்டு இருக்கிறபடியா நாங்கள் பிள்ளைகள் வச்சுருக்கிறோம் பொம்பளை பிள்ளைகள் எல்லாம் படிப்பு அதுகளுக்கெல்லாம் அதனால் நாங்கள் எங்கள் நாட்டுக்கு வந்துடுவோம்.
Working closely with government authorities and other NGOs and with the generous support of the Australian government, IOM helps thousands of refugee families to return and reintegrate with Sri Lankan society. A cash grant which they receive on arrival helps meet travel and initial settling in expenses in their former homes and villages. Now, they must embark on the process of beginning a new life for themselves and their families. UNHCR has helped facilitate the return of Sri Lankan refugees from Tamil Nadu. But once they reach Sri Lanka, they face a new challenge: starting life again in a war-changed environment.
Existence of IOM, it is very easy, but they have already having a project already approved with the head office, and they are well prepared to receive and transfer people readily. So it is they doing a very good service to the returnees and also tremendous assistance to the government.
In addition to refugees who return via air to Sri Lanka, there are others who pay fishermen thousands of rupees to smuggle them back by boat to the coastal town of Mannar. But whether they return voluntarily, through travel assistance by the UNHCR, or spontaneously by boat, IOM assistance is available for all Sri Lankan refugees from India.
Refugee camps in India, there are 103 camps and there are 80,000 refugees are living around. And in addition to that, there are around 25,000 refugees living out of the refugee camps. And these families are anxious to return according to the information that we have, and we are ready to accept all these refugees families and resettle them and reintegrate them to the societies where they are going to be.
It is the districts of the north and east of Sri Lanka that are home to the returning refugees from India. When they finally reach their destinations, they are registered as beneficiaries of IOM and informed of the assistance available. For almost all the returning refugees, the first and most urgent requirement is shelter for their families.
Particularly with respect to shelter, where are they staying? Whether they are staying with their friends, they may be staying with their relatives, till they are provided with some facilities for shelter. So through our field officers, with the assistance from Colombo Project Management, we try our best in coordination with the government and other agencies to provide them shelter as soon as possible. At the same time, that we provide livelihood assistance as soon as possible. But there are always challenges for us.
Beneficiaries are therefore provided with basic building materials, as well as guidelines for constructing a shelter based on a model that has been especially developed for them. This allows them to immediately begin work on their new homes. While many of the families manage with their allocation of materials and assistance, there are also some with access to their own resources to help them build additional structures and features to the houses. In the first year of the project, nearly 3,000 families received IOM assistance to build shelters, renovate their houses and construct permanent toilets. Once they have a roof over their heads, the next concern for these communities is naturally to secure a means of livelihood to support themselves. Crucial to their successful reintegration with society, therefore, is the availability of socio-economic opportunities and a sustainable program of livelihood assistance. Through orientation programs and individual meetings with the returnees, IOM assists families to identify suitable livelihood projects. While the greatest number of beneficiaries select different forms of self-employment, there are also those who opt for livelihoods in the fisheries and animal husbandry sectors. A small number choose cultivation of field crops and paddy. Those who wish to pursue self-employment projects are supported through the provision of training, material and equipment to start their ventures. With some experience gained in India in managing a business and employees, Pushparani Mirinda was interested in setting up a candle manufactory in her hometown of Manna. Pushparani's initial investment of 18,000 rupees, around $200, which she received from IOM, now brings in a profit of 6,000 rupees or $60 every month, and she looks forward to expanding the business in the future.
இங்க வந்தோனேக்கே எனக்கு இந்த இது ஒரு ஆர்வமா இருந்தது. ஆனா காசு இல்லாதனால நான் அதை தொடங்க முடியாம இருந்தேன். அதுக்கு பிறகு நான் எனக்கு இந்த IOM உதவி செஞ்ச பிறகு தான் இந்த தொழிலை செஞ்சிட்டு இருக்கேன்.
Balasubramaniam Ramkumar used the assistance he received from IOM to turn out a clay oven next to his house, the first step towards establishing his own bakery. Operating it just 2 days a week, Ramkumar spends the rest of his time working at another bakery to gain experience and improve his skills. IOM has now helped him to obtain a loan from a rural bank to develop the business further. Gandhi Mohan of Trincomalee collaborates with 5 other families to develop his growing brickmaking industry. By pooling their resources, they are able to produce up to 1,000 bricks a day, resulting in a monthly income of over 70,000 rupees or $700. They are also able to provide casual employment to other returnees in their community.
அப்போ நாங்கள் எங்களுக்கு ஆலோசனை போய் ஐஎம்ல சொன்னோம், நாங்கள் இப்படி எங்களுக்கு சீமெண்ட் தொழில் செய்கிறதுக்கு நீங்கள் உதவி செய்யுங்கன்னு சொல்லி போட்டு, அப்போ அவங்க பார்த்தாங்க எத்தனை குடும்பம் நீங்கள் எத்தனை பேர், நாங்கள் இவ்வளோ பேருக்கும் குறிப்பிட்ட தொகையை உங்களுக்கு சீமெண்ட்லேருந்து கல்லிலேருந்து எல்லா வசதியும் நாங்கள் செய்தாலும் நீங்கள் தொழிலை செய்யுங்கண்டு.
For those who decide to take up crop cultivation, IOM assistance is available in the form of cash grants for preparing the land and materials for planting, such as seedlings, fertilizer, pesticides and agricultural implements. Ganeshan, who returned to Sri Lanka after 15 years as a refugee in India, was keen to continue his former means of livelihood as a farmer. With assistance from IOM, he began by cultivating onions, but has now introduced other crops like beans. With a first harvest that brought him over 50,000 rupees or $500, he has established a nursery to prepare for the next harvest. As residents of coastal communities, fishing is the preferred livelihood option for as many as 45% of returning refugees. With assistance from IOM in the form of the fishing gear they require to go out to sea, they are once again able to resume their traditional livelihoods. Bicycles and weighing scales are provided to those who wish to become fish vendors.
It is a program that is focused on livelihood development. From that, people can do all of the other things that are needed for their lives. But at the same time, we assist with getting children into school. And for me, one of the most important aspects of the project, of the program, is the community development component. We feel that the communities that stayed should also benefit from the return of the people who left. So we are very focused on preschools, especially to help the children to reintegrate, because that's going to be very important for their future. Preschools, preschool training of teachers, medical programs, these kinds of components are very, very important.
Mindful of the need to create an environment that is conducive for the reintegration of returning refugee communities, IOM's efforts have also addressed the needs of local populations. The health sector has been identified as one area of focus, with the need to improve the capacity and facilities of hospitals and medical centers.
Doctor, this one. Yeah, this is a psychological book section we give.
Several interventions include the organizing of health campaigns addressing specific needs. At this health camp, for instance, the children of refugee as well as local populations are targeted in a deworming program. Responding to a request by the Provincial Health Services Directorate, 28,000 children benefited from the program, which was carried out at a cost of 800,000 rupees or $8,000. IOM initiatives have also ensured that the children of both refugee and host communities have benefited in other ways as well. In areas like Delft, in the Jaffna district, where refugee returns are high, a crucial need for preschools was identified. IOM therefore supported the construction of several preschools in the region. Schools like the Nochikulam Mixed School in Trincomalee, damaged as a result of years of warfare, have also been reconstructed and re-equipped to meet the needs of refugee and local populations.
தற்காலிக கட்டடம் ஒன்றை ஆரம்பித்தோம். இதில் இந்தியாவிலிருந்து வந்த மாணவர்கள் அனுமதிக்கப்பட்டனர். ஆனால் எந்தவித உதவியும் நம் பாடசாலைக்கு கிடைக்கவில்லை. ஆக நிரந்தர தற்காலிக கட்டடம் ஒன்றுதான் கிடைத்தது. ஆகவே இந்த மாணவர்களுக்கான மலசல கூடம் அமைக்க மிகவும் சிரமப்பட்டு கொண்டிருந்த வேளையில் IOM நிறுவனத்தினர் பாடசாலையில் இந்த கிராமத்தில் குடியேற வந்த இந்திய மக்களுக்கு உதவி செய்ய வந்தபோது நான் அவர்களிடம் கட்டடத்தை தரும்படி கேட்டபோது
Another form of major assistance to the community has been through the construction of wells to provide water for agricultural activities. In some areas where wells already existed, although in a dilapidated condition, renovations were carried out to make these usable for the community once again. The IOM project to support the return and reintegration of Indian refugees made a significant impact in the first year of its implementation, despite the setback caused by the impact of the tsunami of December 2004. A few months later, the project gained momentum once again, fulfilling the need for assistance among returning communities.
Before we started this program, there was no real program to assist the people coming back. There were some small programs or some individuals were assisted, but there was no overall program focused on the assistance for reintegration. So I think it has been a very good program, very useful to the people. It's been supported by the local government. They also see it as being very important. So in all aspects, I think it's been a very, very welcomed and well-received program.
The experience gained during the implementation of the IOM project helped strengthen ongoing initiatives and identify new areas for intervention. Through the use of participatory methodologies and the application of an inclusive approach, the project has been able to achieve its goals and address the needs of returning refugees.